In this lesson, we are going to talk about the interactions of waves, the changes of direction of waves, the interferences of waves, and how standing waves form.
Reflection is the interaction of a wave in which it bounces off of another object. An example of this is when the source hits the surface and will bounce back at it. Reflection happens in everyday life, such as when you're looking at yourself in a mirror, or when you're well in a gym, your voice bounces back.
Refraction is the bending of waves as they enter a new medium at an angle caused by a changing speed. So an example of this would be a beam of light that bends when it enters water at an angle because the side of the wave that enters the fluid or water first starts to slow down before the other side does. Here is an example.
This is an example of reflection. This is a person looking into a mirror and the wave bounces back, showing them their own image.
Refraction is the bending or spreading of waves that move around a barrier or pass through an opening.
This is an example of diffraction and how it spreads out in waves around a barrier or lane.
So far we have talked about what changes the direction of waves. Those are reflection, refraction, and diffraction. Remember how Spencer told you that reflection is the interaction of a wave in which bounces off another object? That Cole told you refraction is the bending of waves. They enter a new medium at one angle caused by a change in speed. Finally, you need to remember how Hannah talked about bending or spreading a particle.
Interaction between waves that meet. There are two types of interferences, constructive and destructive. Constructive interferences are when two waves combine to make a wave with a larger amplitude of the amplitude of either of the individual waves. An example of this would be when two crests of waves overlap. They make a higher crest. When the troughs overlap each other, it makes a lower or deeper trough.
This is an example of a constructive interference. The waves are coming at each other. The two crests of the wave are equal in size, so they form to make a larger crest. The troughs of both of these waves are coming together at the same equal amplitude, so they create the trough deeper. I'm going to talk to you about constructive interferences, but I'm going to talk to you about the opposite, destructive interferences. Destructive interferences is an interference that occurs when two waves combine to make a wave with a smaller amplitude than of either of the waves of the individual waves. An example of this would be if the crest of a wave has a larger amplitude than the trough of the other wave. In that battle, the crest wins and part of it remains. If the trough and the crest is equal, it will completely cancel the other wave out. So in this, the waves are coming at each other with a higher amplitude, and since they strike each other, and the trough of this one is smaller than this one, this wave goes down to here, and this wave stays where it is. Same thing with this. They are coming at each other, and then this wave's amplitude is higher than this one. The wave's crest is higher than this wave's crest. So this wave's trough goes down more than this one because it has to fill up the crest too.
Confusing. Just hear the definition. Resonance is an increase in the amplitude of a vibration that occurs when external vibrations match on the object's natural frequency. What does this mean? Well, most objects have at least one natural frequency, which is a constant vibration that happens naturally. The external vibrations are vibrations that act upon the natural frequency and that increase the amplitude or heights of the waves. For example, a bridge collapsed because of a storm wind has said to have acted upon the natural frequency of the bridge so much it had
We have
collapsed.
talked about all the subjects in the lesson, such as how standing waves form, wave interferences, and how waves change direction, and interactions of waves. I hope you learned something and hope you understand everything we've talked about.
Ethan Rose,
Emmy Eubank.
Spencer Wall.
Neil Martin.
Sigler.